everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the Cindy Chronicles. So on today's episode of the Cindy Chronicles, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my 30-day yoga challenge. So as you know from my last episode of the Cindy Chronicles, I was having a hard time balancing work and life and making myself a priority. So I started off, I went to my friend's wellness facility in Idlewild and had an amazing time kind of recharging my battery. So while I was there, I did a lot of thought and I really wanted to do something for myself. I've always been a yoga lover. I fell off the yoga bandwagon for a while, so I wanted to get back into it. So I decided to go to Yoga 6, which is one of my favorite places, and do a 30-day hot yoga challenge. Over the last 2 years, I've gained like 20 pounds, and I've been struggling a little bit with my weight and some hormone and some adrenal issues, cortisol issues, some thyroid stuff. So I've been struggling with that, and I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about that in my future blog. But I really wanted to do something that made myself a priority. So I decided on the 30-day hot yoga challenge. I decided on a detox, no drinking for 30 days, and eating as clean as I could, and kicked it off with Yoga 6. So some of the things that I was struggling with is, making yourself a priority and just making that time for yourself. And so I was worried about my calendar and my schedule because obviously we're booked a lot. We have events, we have TV shoots, we have all day things that we're doing. So I was nervous as to how I was going to incorporate this all into my schedule. But I told everybody about it. I said I was going to do it. I started it. And, my body was a little clumsy at first, getting back into yoga and gaining that weight. It was a little bit harder to get into the poses. But I guess, that's why they call it a practice, because you have to practice. And what I learned, I think, was I am so focused on what's next. I'm so focused on my to-do list. I'm so focused on not being in the present moment, but, being into next week or the next month or, what's happening with this event 2 months from now. So what it really taught me was to take it day by day. So I took it day by day, and I just planned on trying to get to yoga every single day. Then I was so addicted to that time to get there and be there for me. It was my hour of the day. It was what I called my hot cocoon of happiness, because I just loved how I felt in that moment. I started, prioritizing my schedule so that nobody could get in the way of that moment. I even skipped out on an event that I was doing for an hour just to make sure I got my yoga practice in and then came back. So it became that important to me. What I loved about Yoga 6, I've done just about every yoga class out there. I've done so many different yoga classes. What I love about Yoga 6 is the instructors. They are so amazing. What they do is they always bring you back to that present moment. So like when you start in child's pose, which is like my favorite pose, they're constantly making you engage with your breath and bringing you back to that present moment. So that's a big factor in Yoga 6. Why did you practice today? Why are you here today? Remember why you're here. Reconnect with your breath. The other thing I love about Yoga 6 is just the energy there. Everybody's so great, from Chase, who's the manager who runs the Point Loma studio, to Liam, to all the instructors. Everybody just has such a great energy, and it's a community there. I love the playlist. The music is phenomenal. And I'm actually going to give you a little sneak peek in a second. I'm going to take you inside Yoga 6 so you guys get to kind of experience what I experienced. And what I would say coming out of that was, I felt clearer and I felt calmer. It really helped me to take that moment for myself, know that that was important, and it really helped my stress levels. So when I came out of that 30 days of hot yoga, it basically made me realize that not to be so reactive, not to stress out on the emails when somebody sent me an email about something or a text message, but to take my time and just kind of digest everything and just know that in the scheme of things, there's things that are important and there are things that aren't. And so you just kind of have to take that to heart. And that really helped me with this, with this challenge. The other thing that I did with my yoga sessions was I took about 15 minutes before yoga on the mat, and I had mantras and manifestations that I wanted to put out in the universe. And so I took that time to think about what I wanted from my day, what I wanted from my business, what I wanted from my relationships. and I wrote them all down. I have all the things that I want to manifest in my life is all written down, and I think about that when I'm on the mat. And when I'm on the mat, I don't shift to that to-do list. I keep going back to that present moment. And when I'm outside of my yoga practice and I'm working and I get a little bit stressed out, I tap into my breath and I remember to be in that present moment. Yeah, so that's helped me so much. And I can honestly say it ruined my manicure and pedicure. 30 days of hot yoga is not easy. Not easy at all. It's about 105 degrees. Ruined my mani-pedi, kind of ripped everything off. But I loved it. And I'm still addicted. I'm still going to Yoga 6. I'm not going every single day, but I try to get there at least 5 days a week. And it makes me a better person. So anyway, I want to show you a little bit about what I've experienced at Yoga 6. So let's take you inside. I'm here at Liberty Station at Yoga 6, and I'm taking you inside and showing you why I picked this place for my 30-day yoga challenge. Here we go. Hi! So one of the things I have to say I loved every day, it brightened my day coming in here and being greeted by these beauties. Camille and Chase, who is the manager here, such great energy. Thank you guys so much for all your support.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming in.
I'm here with Liam, one of my favorite instructors at Yoga 6. How are you?
Doing well, thanks.
Thanks for having us here today. So excited. So one of the things that really helped me with my 30-day challenge, and the thing that I loved, was reconnecting with my breath. So it was so important for me to have that hour of yoga where I could just, not think about my to-do list, not think about who's on Facebook, not think about all the work stuff that I had to do, but really take that time for me. And you guys are so good at doing that with the classes. Do you have a tip for somebody or the viewers on how to do that and connect with their breath?
Thanks. I would just say to not overcomplicate it. It's breathing. It's something that's really supposed to be simple, and we have a tendency to get really complicated with everything that we build up. So it takes an instant rather than a long process. It's not something you can make mistakes with, because as soon as one breath is over, you have the next breath to try again.
Well, and I feel like the other thing with people with yoga, when they try it, it's a practice, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not something like, for me, I hadn't done yoga for a while, so I was kind of intimidated to come back and see how clumsy maybe my body would be. But you guys really help with form and alignment, and it's like you just practice it every day, right? And it gets better.
Right, and that's just all part of the process. It's not a mistake if you leave for a bit and you come back and it feels a little rusty. That's normal, it happens to everybody.
But you just gotta keep your practice. So you're gonna kind of show us some moves today. I know you and I are gonna go through some moves. I wanted to demonstrate one of my favorite moves, which is child's pose. That seems like really for you guys where you do most of the reconnecting with your breath.
Yeah, it's a great place to recenter. Make your way near the back half of your mat. Take your knees out just as wide as feels comfortable and draw your big toes in towards one another. Draw your arms as far forward as this feels comfortable in your shoulders, and let your palms and your forehead rest easy into your mat. And take these next few moments, no further action required from your physical body just yet. Allow yourself instead some time to truly arrive and to settle into the space of your mat and into the space of this 1 hour of your afternoon. As you make that shift away from distraction towards presence with your awareness, start to gather your focus onto your breath, and without controlling it just yet, observe the breath as it comes into your lungs. And just as mindfully observe the breath as it pours out. And beginning to deepen your breath a little bit here. Inhale through your nose and fill up your lungs slowly and steadily. And open mouth, exhale to pour the breath all the way back out. And again, breathe in through your nose, drag the air all the way down the back of your spine as the lungs inflate. And open mouth, exhale to pour the air back out onto your mat. Mentally, allow the breath to occupy your complete and undivided attention. And if you notice at any point that your mind has started to drift away from this moment, all it takes is an instantaneous choice to set aside distraction and to return your focus back to this simple breath in and out through the nose.
So I want to show you a few of my favorite poses that made me feel clearer and calmer and stronger and more empowered. So Liam's going to walk me through some of my favorite ones. I'm ready.
Inhale your arms high overhead, mountain pose. Reach your arms towards the ceiling and let your shoulders slide back into their sockets.
Cindy Chronicles. We'll see you next time from Yoga 6.